we are kicking things off with the Chicago White Sox and their rising star, Munetaka Murakami. He's making waves in the City Series, and we dive into everything we know about his incredible performance, the adjustments he's making, and why so many teams are taking notice of this young powerhouse. Their true power. Finally, we look at the mystical power at Wrigley Field and the dedication of Shota Imanaga. Discover what that unseen power means for the Chicago Cubs' dominance, and don't miss out on the full story. Stay with us for more breaking news. Chicago White Sox first baseman Munetaka Murakami is making a significant impact following his first City Series, drawing attention from across the league for his impressive performance and adaptability. Ahead of Friday's City Series game, Murakami engaged in conversations with visiting players, including Cubs pitcher Shota Imanaga and outfielder Seiya Suzuki, highlighting a growing camaraderie among the players from Japan in Chicago. Murakami had a high-energy start to his City Series, contributing offensively with 2 home runs in an 8-3 victory on Saturday, marking his first multi-homer game in Major League Baseball. He continued his positive momentum in Sunday's 9-8 win against the Cubs, going 1 for 5 with a double and 1 run in a 10-inning contest. His performance has sparked significant discussion among competitors. Cubs pitcher Jameson Taillon noted the league's lack of interest in Murakami was surprising, asserting that he possesses a strong presence, controls the strike zone, and has found a great fit where he feels welcomed. Taillon suggested Murakami's ability to hit and drive the ball is undeniable. White Sox third baseman Miguel Vargas praised Murakami's preparation and routine, emphasizing the importance of his dedication to winning. Furthermore, Sox manager Will Venable highlighted Murakami's remarkable adjustability, noting that he is rapidly learning new pitchers and making adjustments at every level of the game, demonstrating strong adaptability from the first day. Murakami continues to focus on his development, acknowledging the need to adapt to the variety of pitches presented daily, stating that exposure to diverse pitching is key to his success at the plate. Off the field, teammate Colson Montgomery described Murakami as a great dude and a perfect fit for him, aligning with the team's upbeat culture. Entering the next series opener against the Seattle Mariners, Murakami enters the American League with 17 home runs, placing him second in the majors behind Kyle Schwarber. The White Sox entered the series as the only team featuring 3 players with at least 10 home runs, including Murakami, Colson Montgomery, and Vargas. Baseball history was marked by significant milestones and record-breaking performances across the decades. A notable event from 1897 saw Bill Joyce hit 4 triples to guide the New York Giants to an 11-5 win against the Pittsburgh Pirates at Exposition Park, an achievement that remains unmatched in Major League history. The 1930s brought memorable moments, including George Pipgras tossing his 3rd shutout for the New York Yankees, while Babe Ruth hit a long home run at Fenway Park. The 1935 season saw Bucky Walters of the Philadelphia Phillies shut out the Chicago Cubs for 10 innings, securing a 1-0 victory. Further historical markers include the 1945 game, where Louis Almo of the Brooklyn Dodgers hit a triple and home run with the bases loaded in a 15-12 win over the Chicago Cubs, a feat never repeated by a major league player. The 1950 Polo Grounds game featured a historic moment when both the Chicago Cubs and the New York Giants hit grand slams in the same inning, resulting in a rain-called victory for the Giants. The mid-1950s featured dominant performances, such as Walker Cooper of the Boston Braves, going 5 for 5 in a 12-3 rout of the Pittsburgh Pirates in 1951. Mickey Mantle set a major league record in 1956 by hitting home runs from both sides of the plate for the third time in his career, achieving a perfect 4 for 4 day against the Chicago White Sox. The 1958 season also saw Carroll Hardy pinch hit for Roger Maris for the Cleveland Indians, marking his only major league home run. The 1960s witnessed pitching milestones, with Ryan Duran of the Los Angels posting 4 strikeouts in the 7th inning against the Chicago White Sox, tying a major league record. Detroit's Al Kaline reached 307 home runs in 1968, surpassing Hank Greenberg for the most for the Tigers. A dramatic sequence occurred in 1969 when Rod Carew stole second, third, and home plate in the 3rd inning of an 8-2 loss to the Detroit Tigers, becoming the first player in 28 years to steal 3 bases in sequence in the same inning. The late 1990s brought team-specific achievements, including Ryne Sandberg's errorless game streak for the Chicago Cubs nearing its end. In 1999, Edgar Martinez tied a major league record by hitting 3 home runs in 2 games for the Seattle Mariners. Mark Grace also contributed significantly in 1999 with a 3-run home run in the 11th inning for the Chicago Cubs. More recent history includes the 2001 game where Randy Johnson, Byung-Hyun Kim, and Brett Prince combined on a one-hitter to defeat the Chicago Cubs 4-0. In 2002, Pedro Martinez delivered a dominant performance for the Boston Red Sox, striking out the side in the 1st inning on 9 pitches, marking the 17th immaculate inning since 1970. The 2004 season saw Randy Johnson become the oldest pitcher in Major League history to throw a perfect game, setting a new benchmark. Looking at the Chicago Cubs, the 2010 season saw Carlos Silva improve his record to 5-0 against the Rockies, prompting management to reassess the starting rotation. The team also celebrated birthdays for players including Randy Rosario, David Patton, Rich Garces, Eric Young Sr., Jim Sundberg, and Chris Ward, alongside notable Hall of Famers like Reggie Jackson and Brooks Robinson. Beyond baseball, other historical events span various fields. In 1830, Edwin Budding signed an agreement for the manufacture of his lawn mower invention. In 1863, Ulysses S. Grant began his siege on Vicksburg, Mississippi. The Supreme Court affirmed racial separation in 1896 with the Plessy v. Ferguson Doctrine. Significant technological and environmental events include Herbert Henry Dow founding Dow Chemical in 1897, Ray Dolby founding Dolby Laboratories in London in 1965, and the eruption of Mount St. Helens in 1980. In music history, 1959 saw several notable chart entries, including Cast in My Spell by the Johnny Otis Show hitting number 52. The late 1970s saw the release of the Beatles' final LP, Let It Be, and the rise of novelty songs like Ray Stevens, The Streak hitting number 1 in 1974. The 1999 release of the Backstreet Boys' Millennium album was a massive commercial success. Furthermore, in 2024, an unusual gathering of 706 people named Kyle in Texas attempted to break a record for same-name gatherings. The Milwaukee Brewers faced a challenging outing on Sunday, falling 5-4 to the Minnesota Twins in Minneapolis, a result that contrasts with the team's strong performance leading up to this point in the 2026 season. Key moments from the game included an at-bat from Brewers' designated hitter Christian Yelich against the Twins. Starting pitcher Robert Gasser delivered a pitch, and the Brewers' left fielder Jackson Chourio successfully stole second base. The Twins' starting pitcher, Bailey Ober, pitched in the 1st inning. The Brewers also saw offensive contributions from right fielder Sal Frelick, who hit an RBI double and later stole 3rd base in the 2nd inning. Minnesota Twins first baseman Cody Clemens celebrated after hitting an RBI double. The game featured a strikeout reaction from Twins' 3rd baseman Royce Lewis. The Brewers entered the game aiming for a 3-game sweep, and Christian Yelich also made a return from injury. The report also highlights recent player buzz, noting that Bryce Turang is generating significant attention among MLB fans after leading the Brewers to a sweep over the Yankees with a walk-off home run, with Aaron Judge calling him one of his favorite players to watch. Turang currently ranks in the top 5 in WAR alongside Shohei Ohtani and Bobby Witt Jr. Over the past month, the Chicago Cubs are experiencing a historic surge at Wrigley Field, characterized by an unprecedented run of home victories and an electric atmosphere that fans describe as a unique power. This momentum is bolstered by several key factors, including exceptional pitching performances and a strong team foundation. At the heart of the team's success is pitcher Shota Imanaga, whose rookie season captivated crowds and who has recently undergone a deep dive into his biomechanics and training. Imanaga's dedication has propelled him back to all-star level performance, evidenced by a 2.32 ERA through 9 starts, despite injuries to some of the team's top arms. Imanaga attributes the team's success to an intangible power felt at Wrigley Field. The team's dominance is also supported by strategic organizational decisions, including increased budget allocation for baseball operations following a 92-win season and a strong sense of continuity within the experienced roster and coaching staff. The Cubs have already set franchise records, including 2 7-0 homestands in one season since 1880, and are the first team in MLB history to achieve 2 separate double-digit winning streaks and 15 consecutive home victories before the end of May. This home field advantage is amplified by the passionate fanbase, with nearly 500,000 people passing through the gates during a recent 15-game winning streak, averaging over 33,000 per game. The atmosphere is described as electric, with fans creating a palpable sense of support that impacts the players. Recent on-field action highlights this intensity. A recent game against the Milwaukee Brewers, a division rival, showcased the heightened energy. Furthermore, the team's resilience was demonstrated when reliever Trent Thornton delivered a crucial walk-off victory in the 10th inning of a tight contest, embodying a next-man-up mentality. Despite the hot streak, the team remains aware of the challenges ahead. The Cubs are facing tough competition, including the Brewers, who remain formidable, and a strong St. Louis Cardinals offense. Team leaders emphasize a focused, internal approach, prioritizing their own style of baseball over external team dynamics. The continued success at Wrigley Field suggests that the magic of the venue remains a significant, albeit unpredictable, component of the Cubs' current dominance.